Hello and welcome, everyone. We're very glad that you could join us today. My name is Tarina, and I'm part of the Pratt School of Engineering team here at Duke University. Our goal for this Zoom is to provide you with an academic and experiential overview of what it's like to be a Pratt student. So during this 45-minute recorded session, we'll start with a presentation and then follow that by introductions from our academic deans, and we'll wrap up with time for your questions. We would have loved to arrange a student panel for this session, but today is their last day of classes, and so we wanted to let them celebrate. So we hope to cover any questions you have as part in the presentation, but feel free to note any remaining questions that you have in the Q&A, and we'll address some together at the end. So now I'm happy to introduce you to Lisa Hutel, who will be leading tonight's presentation. Lisa Hutel is a professor in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering and serves as the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Education here at the Pratt School of Engineering. So with that, I'll turn it over to Lisa.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tarina, and welcome everyone. It's great that you're able to join us tonight. We're really excited to share what we find special about Pratt and Duke, and are happy to answer questions later in the session. So I'm going to cover a broad range of topics tonight. Of course, I'm going to talk about our world-class undergraduate education and talk about the different facets of that education, including the curriculum, our focus on interdisciplinarity, as well as experiential learning opportunities. But I'm also going to talk a lot about what we do beyond the classroom, including our advising system, research, student organizations, and different things that our students can get involved in, as well as career support services, study abroad opportunities, and our wonderful alumni and their engagement with our program. So I'm going to start with an overview of our undergraduate education, specifically looking at the 6 majors that we have to offer. Starting with biomedical engineering. So biomedical engineers address critical problems at the intersection of biology, medicine, and engineering. They might pursue and investigate questions like the design of artificial organs and tissues, using nanoparticles for drug delivery, or developing AI-powered healthcare solutions. So a broad range of applications there. In the biomedical engineering department, we have programs like the BME Design Fellows. And this is a special program that enables our students to collaborate directly with clinicians in the Duke Medical Center and our faculty who are doing cutting-edge research in the field. Next, we have civil engineering. Civil engineers focus on the structures and the infrastructure that support our society. Things that civil engineers might study could be anything from embedding sensors into the infrastructure in order to monitor lifespan and determine when replacement needs, as well as developing more sustainable materials like greener concrete. Next, we have environmental engineering. Environmental engineers work to balance the needs of our growing human population and the environment. They'll address challenges such as pollution, energy needs, and community planning. We have really neat resources, exceptional campus resources for environmental engineering, including the Nicholas School of the Environment, located just in our backyard, which I'll talk about a little more later. The Duke Marine Lab in Beaufort, North Carolina, where they can study marine environments and policy, as well as the Duke Forest here in Durham, which has a lot of different research activities going on right here in our backyard. Next, we have electrical and computer engineering, which deals with the processing, control, and transmission of energy and information. Electrical engineers might study nanoscale integrated circuits, quantum computing, or they might complete a concentration in machine learning. So again, a wide variety of opportunities for electrical and computer engineers. Our mechanical engineers focus on design, development, and testing of physical systems to address scientific and engineering challenges. These activities range from the microscopic all the way to large-scale technologies like rockets. This is also the department where you can find many of our course offerings in robotics, which is really at the intersection of mechanical and electrical and computer engineering. And in the mechanical engineering is host to the certificate in robotics and automation, which is actually open to all our undergraduate students. Finally, if one of those traditional disciplines does not meet the goals of you or your student, we offer a sixth major, which we call ideas. It is an interdisciplinary major, so interdisciplinary design in engineering and applied science. And this is a pathway that allows students to customize their curriculum to perhaps combine and cross-cutting ideas across the established disciplines in unique and individualized ways. Recent examples of ideas majors include risk, data, and financial engineering. That's one of our most popular. Ocean engineering and neural engineering. So again, kind of cutting across multiple fields. In addition to these six majors, many of our students pursue additional curricular credentials, including minors and certificates. We have 4 minors in the Pratt School of Engineering, from electrical and computer engineering minor to a software engineering minor to energy engineering minor. We also have a number of certificates such as architectural engineering, aerospace engineering, and I already mentioned the robotics and automation. So many different pathways to complement your primary interest and primary major within the Pratt School of Engineering. I'll talk a little bit more later, but students also are able to pursue a second major or a minor or a certificate in the Trinity School of Arts and Sciences as well, but I'll touch on that in a minute. Next, I want to talk about our innovative and flexible curriculum, and I'm going to do this by really highlighting, kind of bookending the curriculum. So all of our first year students come in and take a course called First Year Design and Communication. This course is an opportunity for students to really learn about the engineering design process. They work with on projects that were developed by actual community partners who serve as clients for the design projects. The students are able to select particular projects to work on. They form teams, and then throughout the semester, they go through the engineering design process, learning how to communicate with the clients and understand the needs, learning new prototyping skills. So we don't expect them to have any background in engineering skills. We teach them CAD, we teach them Arduino programming, we teach them woodworking, whatever is appropriate to their project. They can pick up those skills as part of this course. And over the course of the semester, they will develop their prototype, they will demonstrate it to their client, and in the end, will present a working prototype to that client, all along getting feedback from classmates and from their client. The second course that many of our students take in their first year is first year computing. For those who have more advanced computing backgrounds, there is an alternate pathway, but the majority of our students take first year computing. This course is not a typical course focusing on a specific programming language, but rather focuses on teaching students how computing is important to engineers and how to think like an engineer and use computing to enhance problem solving. So while it does use a particular language, in this case Python, again, the projects or the class is based around a set of projects that are drawn from our community partners. They don't serve as clients in this case necessarily the way they do in our first year design class, where there is that one-on-one communication and meeting with the client. But it is real data taken from real problems, and then students learn real techniques to solve those problems in the context of understanding our computing. And then on the other end of the curriculum, to bookend that, of course, we lean into the fact that we have amazing faculty doing cutting edge research. And so they are continually developing new and exciting electives that students can take usually in their junior and senior year, things like AI, quantum engineering, and other topics that keep emerging. So throughout their 4 years, we start the students off on the right foot by showing them what is engineering, how to think of, like an engineer, guide them through their 4 years, and continually offer new opportunities for them. I want to come back to the idea of interdisciplinarity. I mentioned it earlier. And here at Duke, we're very fortunate that Pratt is really at the heart of a network of schools and professional schools as well. And we can really partner with those schools to offer more opportunities for our students. I mentioned earlier the Trinity College of Arts and Sciences, which the other half of our undergraduate program. And our students do many different, well, they all are going to take a set of liberal arts classes as part of their engineering curriculum. But beyond that, many of our students choose to do a second major, minor, or certificate in one of those arts and sciences departments as well. We also have the Nicholas School of the Environment, which I mentioned earlier. And again, we can partner with the resources like the Duke Marine Lab and the Duke Forest. It's a great opportunity for our engineers interested in environmental questions like climate. The School of Medicine is a huge opportunity. I mentioned that in the context of biomedical engineering, but many of our engineers also interface. We have a strong program with medical robotics through the mechanical engineering department. So many opportunities to interface there with the School of Medicine, again, just right across the street from the School of Engineering. And for those who are interested in tech policy, we have the amazing Sanford School of Public Policy nearby as well. So this whole network of opportunities, we really encourage our students to seek out those complementary activities, focusing on their engineering, but rounding it out and interacting with students and faculty with a wide variety of interests, because we feel that that's important for engineers to be able to do that. In addition, there are also extracurricular activities that are very interdisciplinary, and I'll touch on some of these a little bit later as well. But things like our summer program, we have a Data Plus program, a Code Plus program, where we bring teams of students, often vertically integrated, so undergraduates, graduate students, faculty, often community partners, and students have an opportunity to work on interdisciplinary problems, bringing in their own engineering expertise, but maybe working very closely with someone from public policy to understand how the technology impacts uh, the policy. So again, lots of opportunities there, and we really encourage and support students with those interdisciplinary interests. Next, I want to talk about our experiential learning opportunities. So we feel very strongly that experiential and hands-on learning is very important for engineers, and so we provide many different opportunities to do this. I already talked about our first year engineering design class, where it's entirely hands-on, building and prototyping, meeting with the client, figuring out how to meet those needs. We have those kinds of opportunities through design courses throughout the curriculum. I'm highlighting one here called Interdisciplinary Product Design, which was developed specifically to bring students at a more advanced level together. And again, looking for community clients with interdisciplinary problems and bringing teams together that cut across departments, and just another opportunity for teamwork, but also interdisciplinary design. In addition to the curricular aspects, there are many opportunities for students to do experiential learning outside the classroom. And so a great example of that is our Duke Engineers for International Development group, which is a student-run organization, faculty supported, that they do solve problems, or they work on problems like the picture here, building bridges in Bolivia, looking at water systems in Eswatini. So global applications. They often spend the academic year taking a course and learning about the problem that they are going to be trying to solve, working out their designs, having design reviews of what their proposals are, and then in the summer they can travel and actually implement the designs that they spent their year working on. And then finally, we also have a number of other opportunities, maybe perhaps more competitive, like the Rainforest X Prize or the Ocean X Prize, where students have the opportunity again to work on specific problems in teams. These are more extracurricular, although they're actually are courses affiliated with the Rainforest X Prize, with the Ocean X Prize. So students can do that both as a curricular option, but also over the summer and go to the competitions. But again, a great way for students to actually apply what they're learning in the classroom in many different ways and often in very interdisciplinary teams. I want to switch gears now and talk a little bit about student advising. So here we approach advising in a very holistic approach. So it's not just about academic advising, but it's also about acknowledging that the student over the course of their 4 years is really developing into, a citizen of the world. And so we keep in mind all the different facets of the student and how we can support that development. So beginning in the first year, recognizing that this is a year of significant change and adaptation, we have a program that we call 360 Advising. And through that program, every first year student is assigned to a faculty advisor, which we call their 360 coach. And I'll talk about 360 in a second. They are also assigned to a peer advisor and an academic dean. The academic dean, and these are the deans you're going to meet later tonight, will be with them for all 4 years. So it's a nice, solid, constant advisor who will be with them every step of the way. The 360 coach is a specially trained faculty advisor who can not only provide students advice about the academic side of things, but also is well versed in all of the resources that are available, both academic resources like tutoring resources, but also wellness resources and other types of resources like our career advising and our global education office. So they have a very broad knowledge, and while they may not answer every question, they know where to send the students and how to connect them to the pertinent resources. And in that way, they help the students make that transition, get to know their environment, and make sure that they connect to those resources. In the second year, students will declare their major at the very beginning of their sophomore year. So they have a year to explore. And again, the curriculum really supports that at time of exploration. We have mostly common first year curriculum with the math and the physics, the engineering design, the computing classes. There will be one class in the first year spring that will be more specific depending on what the intended major is. But there's still time and flexibility to change your mind down the road in sophomore year. But when students declare a major, they are assigned to an in-major faculty advisor, and they begin to learn more about what their major is. Again, they may not have an idea. ECE is a very broad field, and so that faculty advisor, their academic dean, will help them to explore now a more narrow field, so a particular major, and trying to figure out, what are the options and what are they most interested in. As they continue progressing through the curriculum and through the year, by third year, they're really getting a good idea of what they want to focus on, and they start specializing in their courses. So choosing upper level electives that are aligned with their particular interests. Getting involved in research is very common. About 60% of our students eventually get involved in research. And so this third year is where they really start specializing, narrowing that path, and also getting more engaged in their department. Now, I say narrowing the path, but again, students routinely will do a second major or a minor or some other complementary academic interest. So it doesn't have to be narrowed down to a single major. By fourth year, students have made it through, they've got their majors, they figured out their specialization. And so this is a time of pulling it all together, really synthesizing. Every major will have a capstone design course or courses that will be completed in the senior year that really provides an opportunity to apply all of this knowledge that they've gained over the course of the 3 years and into their fourth. They'll be thinking about what they want to do next, taking that next step. and working again with their faculty advisor. Maybe they have a research mentor, a peer advisor, and their academic deans, trying to figure out, where they're headed. And our goal here post-graduation is to send our students off with a sense of purpose and with the ability to be leaders in whatever field they choose. So whether that's going on to graduate school or medical school or out into industry or some other pathway, we want our students to be well prepared both technically and as citizens of the world. Along those lines, we have an exciting new initiative called Character Forward. So as I mentioned, we consider students not just their academic sides, but also thinking about their development as a whole. And so we focus a lot about and think a lot about developing character and leadership. Some of that comes out through our courses and our curriculum. So here, for example, in our Engineering 101, the introductory engineering design class that all students take in their first semester, we've integrated discussions of character traits such as responsibility, respect, curiosity, resilience, integrity, but they're presented in the context of design. So when appropriate, for example, when we're talking at the end of the semester about presenting our result and our data, we talk a lot about integrity and how important that is and how you preserve that. Resilience is a really important one, teaching students that it's okay to fail and that you can try again, and giving them opportunities to do that and supporting that as part of the curriculum. Another way that we've incorporated character and leadership traits into the curriculum is actually in the design of the courses themselves. So as an example of that, here we have Dr. Genevieve Lip, who teaches the engineering computing class. And that class has actually been designed structurally to foster virtues like resilience and collaboration. So the way in which the assignments are graded, the way in which the tests are given, and there's mastery grading. So different ways of structuring a course also lend themselves to helping to develop these important character traits. And then finally, we're very excited this year to have General C.Q. Brown, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is an executive in residence here at Duke. And he is super well engaged, especially with our first year students. They've had nice conversations with him. He's been a part of a program that we have called Character Forward Fellows, where a small group of students really focus and intensely discuss questions of ethics and technology, and he's been a part of that group. So it's been really amazing for the students to have access and to interact with General Brown, as well as we have wonderful alumni leaders who come in and to participate as well. So wonderful examples of leaders in their respective fields who are willing to come and mentor our students through this program. And then finally, I want to talk more about some research opportunities. So about 60% of Pratt students engage in research at some level, in some form, over the course of their 4 years. And so this is just a sampling of some of the different ways that students can get involved. First, we have the Pratt Research Fellows. Pratt Research Fellows is a pretty intensive in-depth research experience. Typically, it's going to be 3 semesters and a summer, although there is some flexibility there depending on the student's particular interest and situation. And a student will then work in a particular lab for that time and usually can make significant progress, often presenting their research at conferences or perhaps even publishing in a journal publication. Bass Connections is another opportunity, and this really emphasizes interdisciplinary research. So Bass Connections teams are formed. These are, I was describing a little earlier, sort of are vertically integrated. So they usually consist of undergraduates, graduates, faculty, industry partners, community partners. So there's a whole range vertically, but also breadth-wise. There will be a number of different disciplines represented and all focused on a real problem being addressed by a question being raised by a research partner. And so this is, again, an opportunity for students to bring their engineering expertise to an interdisciplinary team. And these can last anywhere from a single semester to repeated semesters, perhaps a summer. It varies by project. Students can also do independent studies. And again, this can be a single semester or it could turn into multiple semesters. These are taken usually for course credit, but again, working with a faculty member on a particular research topic and getting course credit for that. And then many of our students turn those independent studies and Pratt Research fellowships into graduation with distinction. And so this is essentially a senior thesis, and students have to meet certain expectations, making presentations, publication, and a certain level of achievement in that research in order to graduate with distinction in the research area. Beyond research and beyond the classroom, there are a lot of ways for students to engage and get involved through different student organizations and groups. So we have groups ranging from our, say, more competitive clubs like our Aero Club or our Motorsports Club or our Electric Vehicle Club, Robotics Club, that take part in various competitions at the national level, often setting records and winning awards. Again, very interdisciplinary teams, great way for students to get that hands-on experience in a way working with students across Pratt. We also have professional student organizations. So the Society of Women Engineers, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, NSBE. So other ways of getting that, starting to form those professional networks. And then we have other opportunities. I already mentioned the Duke Engineers for International Development that do global projects. We have a number of projects and opportunities for students to engage locally with our K-12 programs, bringing students onto campus. So many different ways for students to give back to the community, to engage with the community, and to apply what they've been learning applied setting. And then finally, just to wrap this up, beyond the campus. So of course, career and career aspirations are an important part of the discussions and goals of our students. And so we have a wide variety of supports for them, ranging from our engineering specific career fair called Tech Connect, where we bring in tech companies, often represented by our alums, to come in and meet with our students in a somewhat more intimate career fair focused on engineering. We also have the Career Center with an engineering career specialist. They offer services, anything from reviewing a resume to practice interviews to connecting students to company interest meetings and alumni in the field as well. And speaking of alumni, we have a super highly engaged alumni network that contributes significantly to the mentorship of our students. And we have a number of different student alumni mentorship opportunities, formal opportunities where students, for example, can be assigned to an alumni mentor for an entire year, building that relationship and getting that advice from someone who is actually out there in the field but understands where the student is coming from. We also have great study away opportunities for our engineers, and this is not typical of all engineering schools, but At Pratt, about a third of our students end up studying abroad. So we try to work with our students and work with the Global Education Office to ensure that there are opportunities for students to continue taking their engineering courses if they want to, but also have the opportunity to immerse themselves in another culture, in another language, and have that opportunity to study away. And then I mentioned the alumni network. Again, just an amazing network, engaged in so many different ways with our student groups, with our mentoring. They were actually here for, I mentioned the Character Forward Fellows, a small group of students who were paired up individually with alumni mentors, and they met regularly for a class period this semester, and talked about different character and leadership traits. So many different ways to engage with our alumni. And with that, I am going to turn this over back to Tarina, who will introduce our academic deans, and we will open this up for Q&A. Tarina.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lisa. So we're now going to transition into our Q&A led by our academic deans. I would like to introduce you to our three academic deans here at Pratt. First, we have Dean Ben Cook, and then we have Dean Carmen Rawls and Dean Lupita McMillan. So I'm going to pull some questions here that were asked. The first one being, how many AP classes can be transferred to count as a credit? So Dean Rawls, can you answer that question?
Hi. Well, we don't have a specific number of AP credits limit. It would depend on many things, but we do accept them for general education requirements. So, for example, Math AB, BC, chemistry, physics, and we would accept it for credit depending on their score. Once the student submits the scores to the registrar's office, the registrar will determine what type of credit they will receive, but we don't have a specified limit.
Great. Next question. Do Pratt students do focus or constellations? And Dean McMillan, can you answer that one?
I can. So definitely focus is an option for engineering students. For a focus student, they take two focus classes, 2.5 focus classes in the fall semester, and then the other two classes are engineering classes. So since those two spots are being used up by non-engineering classes, it's beneficial for the student to have some sort of AP credit. And that way you won't fall behind in the curriculum. There are ways to catch up, but it does include maybe overloading or summer school. So it's good to talk to our team, our academic dean team, to talk about your situation to see if how focus would impact your curriculum. We have a summer advising address. It's called Pratt-advising at duke.edu. So until you find out who your academic dean is, you can send questions to that email address. I'll say it again, pratt-advising at duke.edu. So that's focus. And this year is the first year that Pratt students can participate in the constellations, which is a part of the Trinity curriculum. It is a new curriculum they implemented last year. It is now open to Pratt students this year. And again, well, that is a 3-course commitment, which is 2 constellation courses and a writing course, and they all are around a theme. And so students need to take all 3 of those. They'll take 2 classes in the fall semester and 1 class in the spring semester. That is good, could be good for students who maybe plan to transfer to Trinity. Or if students are ahead in their credits, then that is certainly a possibility that they can proceed with. Again, it's good to talk to an academic dean about your specific situation. And if you're coming in with credits, we can tell you how participating in either of those programs will impact your trajectory in the Pratt curriculum.
Great, thank you. So Dean Cook, this question I'm going to ask you to answer. So as an international student, do international students have accessibility to internships and work opportunities coming out of Duke?
Yeah, so we have a few pathways for international students, including CPT, which is for summer internships, and OPT, which is for students after they've graduated from Duke. And we have, like, for first year students who want to declare their major early so they can do CPT, we have that as an option for international students. And I personally have a lot of international students who are sending me emails to do CPT or OPT. I do think it has gotten harder for international students in the last couple of years. But I we also have a lot of international students that are being successful. And one kind of way to um, kind of figure that out is to talk to other international students about the companies they're working at, and we can certainly connect you with other international students. We have a committee that is kind of meeting specifically about the international experience, and it's across Duke, led by Kevin Darko, who's the head of the I used to be called International House, but now it's like the International Student Group, or students. Um, and so we are aware of it and worried about the experience of our international students, and hoping to and looking for ways to make that easier.
Thank you. So we have a couple questions here about when students will be able to talk to their deans about their classes and when they'll be assigned to their academic dean. So Dean Rawls, can you answer that question?
Hi, yes. Yes, at the end of the spring semester and before the June month, you receive an email from your dean inviting you to schedule a Zoom meeting, one-on-one meeting during the summer. So between June and July, we'll be able to meet with our students, talk about their career interests and if they have AP scores and what type of classes they should be taking in the fall semester when they arrive.
Let's see. So we have a question about AP scores. It looks like an answer is being typed for that one. So let's see. Can Trinity students take engineering classes or get an engineering degree? Dean McMillan, will you answer that one?
So, short answer is yes, Trinity students can take engineering classes if prerequisites are met. Many of our engineering courses do have math prerequisites, physics prerequisites. So if they're met, then you can take them. We do have first year engineering courses, third year 101 and EGR 105, restricted to Pratt students only in the fall semester. If we have seats available, we do let Trinity students in, but we don't know that until right before the semester begins. So there's a possibility, but it's really small. And in the spring semester, students can take those introductory engineering classes if they'd like. The question about getting an engineering degree. So if a student wants an engineering major, they must be a Pratt student. So if you are a Trinity student and you really do want to have an engineering major, then you will need to transfer to Pratt, which is very possible. As a Trinity student, there's minors that are available to Trinity students. So we have an ECE, Electrical and Computer Engineering minor. We have an AI minor. Those are open to Trinity students. Our certificates are open to Trinity students. Again, if you have the prerequisites, then you can take the classes, you can complete those credentials. And I was going to add for students who, let's say that that's what you want to do, then let your undergraduate admissions counselor know that you want to transfer to Pratt. There is a process to make that request over the summer and potentially transfer over the summer before the semester begins. So if you want to do that, or, I hope this isn't the case, but if you're a Pratt student and you're thinking about going to Trinity, same process. Let your undergraduate admissions person know now that you want to make that request, and they will do a formal review. And if it's possible, they will make it happen. If it's not possible, then there is a process to transfer either way once you arrive in the fall semester after this fall semester is over. I hope I answered all of that. Tarina, let me know if there was any blanks there.
That was great. Okay, so we have a question about the average class size for a first year engineering student, what office hours are like, the availability of office hours, and who fields those office hours. So Ben, did you want to address that one?
Sure. It depends on the class. Our Engineering 101 classes are about between, let's say, 40 and 48, depending on whether they're in the foundry or in the pod, like 40 to 50, I guess. And then, chemistry, there's three big lectures. Those can be up to, 150 to 200, but then there's smaller discussions and labs. For writing, all the writing sections are capped at 15. Engineering 105 is 35-ish, I think, for most of the Engineering 105 sections. And then math, it depends on the math class. Also, math 111 and 120, 122 are smaller sections. Um, well, and then 218 is a larger lecture with discussions. And so those are typically where students would start. And then as you get into into your major, a lot of classes might be smaller depending on the major or slightly bigger, depending on what your major is. But the first year classes vary based on department.
Great. So next question, Dean Rawls, if you don't mind answering this one, can you talk a little bit about working with Pratt professors and research opportunities and when students can start those opportunities?
Oh, yes. Actually, like it's been mentioned, a lot of our Pratt students do get involved in research. It is more common to become involved in research as an upperclassman junior, senior year after you've taken all your fundamental classes within engineering and you're able to contribute into the project. But there are students, even in their first year, that do get involved. They could be directly with a faculty member in engineering. There are different ways that students can find opportunities. They can reach out directly to the faculty member to see if they have opportunities available, or they can become involved in other projects that are multidisciplinary and multi-age, like Past Connections, which was mentioned beforehand. But yeah, I mean, it's during the first year, it will be a little bit more difficult because you'll be taking a lot of the fundamental classes, but there are still opportunities. So it will just depend.
Excellent. Okay, I think that brings us to an end of our Q&A session here. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We're really glad that you could be here. If you have any additional questions after this webinar, please feel free to reach out to our team. And we hope to see many of you soon, and we hope you enjoy your evening.